1. Ever heard someone say, "They'll just crying crocodile tears"? It means fake sympathy or insincere sorrow. But did you know this phrase comes from a bizarre medieval myth? The phrase dates back to the 14th century and originates from the travels of Sir John Mandeville. This wildly popular book claimed crocodiles would cry tears of sadness while devouring their prey. Mandeville described them as serpents that slay men and eat them weeping. Oh, and he also said they didn't have tongues.
Huh?
Now, of course, none of this was true. The book was filled with fabrications about the author's supposed travels through Asia. But the myth stuck, and centuries later, even Shakespeare included references to crocodile tears in his works.
Each drop she falls would prove a crocodile, out of my sight.
By the 16th century, the phrase had solidified into the idiom we still use today. Science eventually debunked the myth, but the legend of crocodiles crying fake tears while hunting has become a part of our language. 2. Have you ever heard someone say, "Don't rest on your laurels"? It's advice to not get too comfortable with past successes. But where does this phrase come from? To understand, we need to go back to ancient Greece. Laurel leaves were sacred to Apollo, the god of music, prophecy, and poetry. He was often shown wearing a laurel crown, which came to symbolize achievement and status. In Hellenic times, laurel wreaths were awarded to victors in the Pythian Games, a precursor to the Olympics. The tradition didn't stop there. When the Romans came along, they adopted laurel wreaths to honor generals for major military victories. Those crowned with laurels were called laureates. They could literally rest on their laurels, basking in the glory of their achievements. In those days, the phrase had a positive meaning. But by the 1800s, the phrase took on a more critical tone. It began to describe people who were overly content with past triumphs, neglecting to strive for new success. 3. Have you ever described someone as running amok? Today, we use it to mean wild or uncontrollable behavior, but its origins are far darker and rooted in history. The phrase originates from Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysia and Java. It was first documented in the 18th century by European explorers who observed a shocking and violent phenomena among local tribes. Amok, derived from the amukults, a band of warriors notorious for their violence, described an affliction where seemingly ordinary individuals would erupt into brutal, indiscriminate killing sprees. These episodes left entire villages in terror. In 1772, famed explorer Captain James Cook wrote about this phenomenon. He described it as, "to sally forth from the house, kill the person or persons supposed to have injured the amok and any other person that attempts to impede his passage." At the time, these episodes were believed to be caused by possession by evil spirits. Westerners were both fascinated and horrified, turning running amok into a term used to describe any wild, unprovoked rampage. Over time, scientists began to study the phenomenon. Amok was later classified as a psychiatric condition, listed in diagnostic manuals as a rare mental disorder. While cases are exceedingly uncommon today, it remains a diagnosable condition.
Thank you for watching Factroids, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos and stay tuned for more. Until next time, stay curious.